Once a week, Laura Ingraham joins us. Today's the day. Good morning to you, Laura.
Hey, Laura.
Hey, guys. Good to see you.
Well, a lot to talk about in politics. Donald Trump fired Corey Lewandowski yesterday. There are a million stories swirling around. We had both of them on. First, here's a soundbite with Corey, who, even though he just got canned, still proud to support Donald. Listen.
The fact that I was a part of it is so important to me. And because I'm not a part of it on the inside, my feelings haven't changed in 24 hours. I want him to fix our country. I want him to do all the things he says he's going to do because I know he can. And to go out and say negative things, which I don't believe is not the right thing to do. I want the country better for my family.
Right.
And he'll do that.
So even though he just got fired, he still has nice things to say about his former boss.
Yeah, I thought that he had a really classy response, and in an era where so many people leave their places of employment to, trash their, their former bosses, where they can sell a big story to the National Enquirer or People magazine. I think he showed us a lot of who he is, contrary to what we see in the media. And I'm not saying he's perfect, none of us are, but he really does care about the country. I know Corey a little bit, and it was time to turn the page on the campaign, and I don't know all the inside details of it, but I thought both of them, both Donald Trump's points this morning with you and Corey's points, I think it was okay, and I think that's life. People move on in relationships, professional and personal, and I think it's fine. I think it all turned out probably for the best.
Yeah, Laura, we did have Donald Trump on to respond to it as well, and for folks who are just waking up, we'll play that soundbite and then get a response from you. Here we go.
There were some people that loved Corey. Some people didn't like him as much because Corey was strong and he was tough. I got to tell you, though, I give him a 10. He's number one, he's a great guy, and number two, he did a really great job. But now we're finished with the primaries, which we won. So Corey has a great victory on his belt, and I will be the first to tell you. He can say, let Trump be Trump, but he managed beautifully. Now we're going a different way. We have a group of people, and it's a little bit different.
Well, your reaction, I mean, he's fired. He isn't moved over. He didn't resign to spend more time with his family. He's now out. Laura, what do you think has to change with the Trump organization?
Well, I think we have to stop, wishing that things are going to be different when they're not. I mean, right now, the Trump campaign needs to send a consistent message to the American people about jobs, opportunity, the rule of law. America is going to be an independent, sovereign nation. Hillary's going to take us in a globalist direction that will deplete our sovereignty as individuals, as our individual freedom and our national sovereignty. It's got to be a specific and very clear message of economic growth. If I were advising Trump, I'd tell him to stop tweeting, stop reacting to every bit of criticism, focus right on the American people, the plight of the middle class, and the corruption in Washington, D.C., of which Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Loretta Lynch, Eric Holder, that whole crowd, Jay Johnson at Homeland Security, they're all part and parcel of the same game of obfuscation, a lack of transparency. He's got to make that point consistently. I think his points today about Corey, again, this is very classy. This is what happens in a campaign. This is not surprising. But right now, we got to reboot this campaign, and it's got to be clear and specific and enough of the personalities. It's about the people. It's not about, your products, right? It's about the people of this country, period. And we need a leader who is going to be specific and clear on these major points. Well,
Laura, you just mentioned Loretta Lynch. You were talking about corruption in Washington. Given the fact that you're an attorney, you worked at the Supreme Court, what a crazy 48 hours. She comes out and she says that the FBI would be releasing the transcript, but it would be redacted regarding Omar Mateen. And so it came out and it had these blanks where it just said omitted. But then later in the day, because it hit the fan, it came out and we could see al-Baghdadi's name and talking about ISIS and stuff like that. But what's interesting as well is that apparently in the transcript released by the Department of Justice, it says God, when in fact he used Allah, but because he was shifting between English and Arabic, they left the translation Allah as God.
It all smells bad. I mean, it smelled really bad when they sent Susan Rice out to do the fake, explanation for the attack on the mission in Benghazi. That smelled bad. Turns out that was a whole lie, entire lie. And now, once again, Loretta Lynch goes out. It's, oh, we're going to be transparent, no problem. And then it would turn out they're lying about that, too. So, again, why are they so afraid of telling the truth to the American people about what radical Islam really is? Why are they so afraid of it?
If anything,
why do they not trust the American people with that information?
And if anything, it just pushes the president's narrative. It's basically, by them doing this and then showing us the original transcript, it basically says, it confirms what the president's doing. He doesn't want you at home to know what this guy was saying when he was in there shooting up the nightclub. He wants to make it about guns and not about terrorism.
Well, he wants to make it about guns. It was really solely an attack on the LGBT community. They were attacked, but the motivation behind this was radical Islam.
Of course.
Right.
And Loretta Lynch even threw in a reference on one of the Sunday shows about how they're looking into the fact that it was Latin night. Now, this is just a canard. People have to see. You might have all sorts of problems with Donald Trump. I get that. But if you want to continue this type of running the table that these people do on the American people every day, well, this is what's going to keep happening.
Right.
And Americans' lives are in jeopardy if this keeps going on the way it's going. And, you know, we're being lied to about this. About the refugee program, about the border, about the economy. I mean, what else are they lying about? I think that's the conclusion you come away with.
The CIA director came out and totally contradicted the president about the damage he's doing, not doing on ISIS. And the Secretary of Defense yesterday in an interview says we got to stop the Orlando attacks by putting more pressure on Raqqa and ISIS in the Middle East. Really? Because the president doesn't see that linkage, but people that work for him do, that are on the clock for him, and it's on their report card.
Yeah, Brian, great point. And at what point do any of these top officials in the Obama administration say, you know, enough is enough. Unless you take this seriously, I'm out. I mean, where's the honor on the part of Loretta Lynch and all these other people? Comey. Where's the honor here?
Let's see. To be continued. Laura, thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
Great to see you guys.
Thank you, Laura.